Blast me to Bermuda! It's time for a Mad Merlins unboxing. This time, Warhammer 40,000 Imperium Delivery 7. Hello and welcome back to another Mad Merlins unboxing. Today we're going to be taking a look at Imperium Delivery 7. So this is our 7th and final delivery with a subscriber gift, which is a set of art prints. So let's see what we got inside our package. Important bits out of the way. So we got some nice kits this time around, and like I said, we got our final premium subscriber gift. So first off, we have issue 23, which contains the Codex Spider. Issue 24 is a new paint issue where we've got Rakar Flesh and Nuln Oil. 25 nets us the Necron Immortals, who could also be built as death marks. And these will be quite a nice, fun addition to your army. And in 26, we get our first HQ model for the Adeptus Mechanicus with a Tech Priest Dominus. So let's go through these one at a time, and then we'll also take a look at our art prints. So start at the beginning with issue 23. So we get a flying stand and base, and we get our Codex Spider. I'll have a quick look here at the overhead. So I've just put together my second one of these this morning, so this will give me my third and final one. And it's quite a nice kit. I found out you can easily skim over the instructions and build it pretty much as you wish. If you cut the small pegs off at the bottom there, you can easily re-angle the legs and get some nice different poses. The equipment that hangs underneath him is nice. You can choose from I think it's 8 different components. You've got a claw there, 2 main front claws, 2 injectors, a set of tendrils, and you also have the Gloom Prism, which is the Necron's anti-psycho device. So, one thing I didn't show off was GW's love for putting details where no one can see them. We have the inside shot there of the carapace with loads of little tiny scarabs. That's quite nice. I do like that detail. It's really nice to have. So, moving on to the issue. Have a quick flick through. So we get our Codex Spider datasheet, learn all about different Codex constructs, learn about the Disciples of the Machine God, and then we learn how to build our spider. So while the magazine suggests to do a sub-assembly, leaving the back totally separate, I do suggest gluing part 2 to parts 25 and 24 so that you can fit the legs in the correct place that won't interfere. Leave the top bit separate and glue the guns through it, and then paint that way. Instructions are really good, give you a good idea on how to build your spider. It warns you about using component 10, that it doesn't match up the paint guide, but there isn't too much different. You've just got the vents there, and you got 2 eyes on one side and 1 large central eye. Other than that, it's pretty much the same. We have his main weapon there, the particle beamer. He's fabricated claw array and gloom prism. You can glue them anywhere. The Gloom Prism will only go on the central sockets, but you can put the claws and other bits anywhere you like. And there we have our final assembly. I do suggest gluing him down to the stand after you finish painting, because while it will give you something to hold on to, it does get in the way of the gloom prism and all the other details underneath. I managed to spray mine in one chunk and just paint half at a time, so I didn't end up rubbing off too much detail when, partly drying paint as I moved around the model. And that's basically it for the spider assembly. We have paint guide on how to paint the Canoptic spider. Absolutely no use to me, because my guy is going to end up like this. So this is my first one I built. I've given the 2 injectors at the front, gloom prism and the little slasher blade and repair cables, and of course the particle beamer. My second one, I've used only one of the injectors, but I've used the 2 main claws at the front. So my third one, I'll try and do something different again. So onto painting, we're just putting on our base layers as well as a top layer of Canoptic alloy, and that's all we're doing at the moment. It usually ends up like that for the moment. We get 2 new data sheets for the Canoptic spider and for the scarab swarms. So this is your full data sheets for those units, and you do get pretty much what it says on the box. It does give you the option that you can have 1 to 3, so you can always add extras if you buy multiples like I have with issue 23. Canoptic scarab swarms are 3 to 9, so we'll end up with a squad of 6, but if you've got Indomitus, Command or Recruit or Elite Edition, you'll have some extras to add and buff up your squads. So it'll be quite nice to see going forwards how big our armies are going to get. On the back we've got a few tutorials, denying powers, exploding and repairing your scarabs. And our playthrough sees a squad of aggressors and a librarian assault a Canoptic spider with scarabs and Necron warriors in our new playthrough. So on to issue 24, which is a paint issue. So we get everyone's favourite thing to spill, Nuln Oil. A nice dark black shade. It's good for use on metalwork, grey cloth and the like. And we have Rakoff flesh, which we'll be using on purity seals and the inside of capes. So let's find out exactly what we'll be using them as. So we get an introduction to Tyranids, painting with shades and rules for your missions. So we get weapons and war gears naming list for our Mechanicus. And we also get degradations and grudges for our Necrons. We got the Space Marine one a few issues back. Let's zoom up a bit. There we go. So it'll be nice to see that we're getting them for all the different factions. So we learn all about the Tyranids, another inquisitorial report by Gallius Sharn. I really do like these. With Conquest, it was all just sort of done as you'd expect from a Codex. But the way Imperium's doing it with these inquisitorial reports, it really does help you buy into it and what it would be like in the 41st millennium. If you were like an Imperial general, you'd ask to see a report on a certain species that you're going to be facing, and this is the sort of thing you would expect to see. So I could easily see somebody using these in like a 40k LARP, perhaps, like use them as guides for the players to know what enemies they're facing and such. That'd be quite nice. Anyway, moving on to painting some extra details on our Ultramarines. So we're painting our purity seals with Rakoff flesh, shading it with Agrax Earthshade, and then just touching up the edges with some Rakoff flesh, just so we don't overshade it. large flat areas, you want to apply the Rack Flesh, but other than that, you just want to apply it mainly to the raised areas. We're painting the tabard and bones on our lieutenant and aggressors. So again, Rack Flesh, wash of Agrax, and retouch up with Rack Flesh. Nuln Oil is going to go onto literally all over the weapons and any metal silver metal areas. So power swords, pistols, bionics, chainswords, and your vents on your backpacks. Nuln Oil is also going to go onto the aggressor weapons and anywhere that we previously painted with corn red in the last issues. Also shading the librarian's cloak, I almost said Technomancer then, and giving it a re-highlight with Mechanica Standard Grey. And that's our finished gallery so far. So we have a tutorial all about objectives. So the objectives we get with issue 1, and we also have victory point tokens, which means there will be our first cutout at the back of each of the issue. So we got victory points for Necrons and Space Marines. Yeah, it just shows how to control an objective and also recording your victory points. So nice little tutorial. We get our first advanced rule. So this is basically how missions work within the Warhammer 40,000 tabletop game. So we get a basic scout mission pack. So it tells us that there's going to be objectives in use, and all our troop units will get objectives secured. So this is the full rules of the scout mission. So you muster your army, you take your briefing, create your battlefield, deploy your army, determine first turn, begin your battle, end your battle, and determine your victor. So we've got some cipher tokens that we need to recover. That would be the Necron Royal Warden versus the Librarian. And that is our battlefield. So our second big map, objective at the center, and it's basically trying to control. So the forces are predetermined for us. So 10 warriors, 3 scarabs and a Royal Warden, 1 Librarian, and 3 aggressors. And just as I thought, here we have a set of objective tokens. Good idea to glue them down to a piece of card and then cut them out. They did this with Imperium, Conquest and Mortal Realms. It's really good. It helps you get more tokens to use in your games. For me, I still have my Conquest Premium ones that I can use. Okay, issue 25. So, straight off, we've got 5 32mm bases for our Necron Immortals. We got a fold out on the different Mechanicum Forge Worlds, and we have our models. So a quick zoom in here, have a quick look over the frames. So you get 5 legs, 5 torsos for Immortals, and 5 for Death Marks. You get only 5 torso fronts. So it's 5 different types of backs, and then you get your 5 fronts. And you get 10 heads, 5 for Death Marks, 5 for Immortals. Choice of guns, so you got your Disruptor rifles for your Death Marks, Tesla weapons, and your Gauze blasters. So flip them over. Got nice singular monocle eye for your Death Marks. It'd be quite nice to use on a Crypt deck or even a Overlord. We got our Immortals standard heads there. Barrel ends for your weapons. Each of your weapons has, or your Gauze blasters has 2 halves, your front there and your side there, and your Tesla blasters just has the one piece with the barrel end. The guns do match up to a specific set of cables, so pay attention to your build guide. So issue 25, we build and paint our Necron Immortals. We explored the Mechanicus Forge worlds, and we have new data sheets. So here's our Immortals battle record. So show the Zarakan Dynasty ones there, different types of weapons they take with the Novok Dynasty, all the different glyphs that they can have, and your space to record your data, so you can put your own specific glyph, name your units, number your units. So your cohort is 1 to 2, so what I do is roll a dice, odd numbers you're 1, even numbers is 2, and your phalanx number, roll a d6, re-rolling 6s, and if you've already got a unit, re-roll any duplicate numbers. And we got their battle damage and gifts. So we learned about the layout of the Royal Court, all the different types of cryptex, as well as the Royal Wardens, the Lich Guard, Bodyguard, and the Lords and Overlords. The different rulers of the Imperium, so you got the Senatorium Imperialis, which is 12 High Lords of Terror, Adeptus Mechanicus, the Cult Imperialis, and the Adeptus Administratum. Background about governing the Imperium, and we have lore for the realm of Ultramar. So this is the empire that Guilliman rules, or used to rule, and has now been tasked with being the leader of the entire Imperium, pretty much. So there's, I think, like 500 worlds of Ultramar. Yeah. It's a small realm on the eastern fringe of the galaxy. During the days of Great Crusade, it was going to, and the Horus Heresy, it was going to be the home of the Second Imperium that Guilliman wanted to try and raise up. So you got the fortress monastery called Hera of the Ultramarines, and a little blurb from Lieutenant Calcius. So building our Immortals, it does only give you the Immortals instructions. I think when we get the second set of these, they will give you the Deathmark instructions if you wish to build them as Deathmarks. If not, ask around on your friendly gaming channels. I'm sure someone will have a spare set of the instructions lying around that they'll give you. So, like I said, it does say you do have to put certain pieces to the backs, so the cables will only match up. So parts 26 will match to parts 28 and 27. And arms, again, support arms are going to be specific and matching. And the legs, you can mix and match any ones, though it's good to have a aimed forward chart and firing one on this guy. These legs are the marching forward ones. This one here looks like he's leaning back into his blaster. No, there you have it. Just follow the instructions, you can't go wrong with Immortals. How to Paint Guide is going to teach you through painting the Zarek Dynasty. I, of course, will be doing mine in the Sautek Dynasty. So, data sheets, we get the Royal Warden and the Immortals. We get our first sheet of the core rules. And we get Scout Mission 3. So, Defensive Perimeter and Secure the Perimeter. So another Necron versus Space Marine fight. This time the Lieutenant, 5 and 2 squads of 5 Intercessors, against the Royal Warden, 5 Immortals and 10 Necron Warriors. And finally, we have the different Forge worlds of Mars. Of the Adeptus Mechanicus, Mars being the most prominent one. So there's other ones such as Metallica, Graia, Riser, the Rust Planet. My personal favourite is Metallica with the cream cloth on the outside, though I might just follow the guide in the magazine for the moment, and I might repaint them later. Final issue, 26. So our first brand new character for the Adeptus Mechanicus. And this gets us the Tech Priest Dominus. So we got a 50mm base and 2 frames. So our first one is basically his entire body with his head and some fats on the back. So it doesn't matter which head you use, though the guide will probably most likely tell you it'll be use this head so that you can follow our paint guide better. I do like this tall hat head, so I might be using that on myself. And then the other frame is his second head and all his different weapons. So he's got a choice of 2 pistols, choice of 2 large blasters, he's got a cane arm, and he's got his Omnissiah axe and his little servo skull. So, excuse me. Delving into the issue, so we get the Tech Priest Dominus, learn about the Tech Priests, and the Battle of the Necrons. So we get a battle record for our Tech Priest Dominus. Gives you all the details about his different war gear, Volkite Blaster, and Phosphor Serpentia, which is the, I'm guessing, going to be the equipment it suggests you to build him with. We can name him, give him his title, and detail his war gears, which we got in the previous issue. So the Adeptus Mechanicus are the keepers of divine law, and all the Tech Priests guard the ancient STCs, or standard template constructs, that have been found and constantly seek stuff such as Archaeotech and new STCs. We have a little report from an Inquisitor, all the different orders of Mars. So you got the Magi, the Genitors, who are basically, the Magi look at technological advancements, the Genitors look at biological advancements, like they'd be the ones that would intervene if you captured a Tyranid creature. They take it back, cut it open. The Logi, who are the recorders, and the artisans, of course, are the crafters. So our build guide for our Tech Priest Dominus. Very simple, just goes together in a few easy components. He is multi-part, so you will need to glue it. And yeah, it does say to use your Volkite gun and the Serpentia pistol, and to use part 12A specifically. Top tip for him: don't glue him to his base, and also leave his arms as 2 sub-assemblies. You could glue his Serpentia pistol on, but I do suggest leaving the axe and his right arm separate. His backpack isn't too much of a detail to be blocking anything, so you can easily glue that on. But you will want to get to all the detail on this guy. He's an amazing model, and he'll be an absolute painter's dream. So I'd suggest temporarily sub-assembling him with some super glue so it can be easily snapped off at a later date. But our paint guide will be basically painting him up to the same standard we painted Ascatari. But we are also going to go back and paint other details such as his sleeves, any purity seals, any servo skulls. We have Agrax Earthshade and Runod Brass. Bit of hair, lovely. Agrax Earthshade goes over pretty much everything we've already done. We're giving a blue glow to our Volkite on these guys, but we're giving a red glow to the Volkite on our Space Marines. Very odd. Painting Abaddon Black details, so his staff and cane, gun casing, any exposed rib cables, and of course the Cult Mechanicus symbol. Then we're using Codex White and Nuln Oil to shade our blue and blacks and silvers. Now painting Codex white on all the areas that will be glowing and his skin. So we can go back to Nuln Oil on our other Skitarii as well, touching up the corn red, touching up the Rakov flesh, and that's our finished gallery. So we get our data sheet, and as I thought, he is stuck to your basic equipment. Though, of course, you can build him any way you want if you've got the Adeptus Mechanicus Codex to hand. But as I'm only going to have the small selection that is coming with Conquest, plus a few extra of the Breaches and Destroyers, I'm not going to be too bothered about building it as I want. I'm going to build it as the magazine suggests. So we have his Lords of Machine Cult rule detailed on the back. Core rules part 2, so your basic rules. Then we have Scout Mission 4, which is Cleanse Sector Epta. So we got the Dominus and Skitarii Rangers, and the Royal Warden, and 5 Necron Warriors. So we're using the back of our battle map for this one, or from issue 18 should I say, and we are putting our 3 containers, and I'm guessing they're going to be part of the objective. On to the next Imperiums from issues 27, 28 and 29. We're getting our first piece of new scenery, which is the Hemiotrope Reactor. Lovely large kit, and I'm hoping they put a little bit more detail into it than they did in Conquest, because they left it kind of bland with the Conquest ones. This one I hope they go a little bit further and add some extra details like painting the pipes and stuff in different colours like it showed. It shows it red there. It would be nice if they did it that way in the magazine. Though I think the front cover shows it red near enough all the way around. That'd be kind of cool if it's going to be painted like it says on the front there. Issues 28 and 29 is a double barrel issue. Parts 1 and 2 of a Necron's Warrior Sprue. So it'll be like we had last time, 4 warriors and 2 swarms, and then 6 warriors and 1 swarm. So, final thing to look at is our last subscriber gift. So this is a set of art prints. I believe you get 4. Yep, just 4. And they're immaculate, lovely glossy art prints on pretty heavyweight card. So we've got the Ultramarines versus the Black Legion. On the back it says limited edition art print and the Imperium logo. We have the Adeptus Mechanicus Codex cover. I believe that's the Space Marines Codex cover there. We have the Sisters of Battle Codex cover, which is just her. It's nice to see the full expanded art print. And then we have our Necron Codex cover. So cover there and the expanded piece there. So these are, I think, yeah, roughly 12 inches by just over 8. So I'm going to have to pop to my local B&M or cheap store and pick up some nice frames to frame these in. So we'll bring everything back in and I'll give you my final verdict on this delivery. So there we have our delivery 7 of Imperium. A jam-packed delivery, I think. So we get the Codex Spider, which is an amazing up-to-date model of the original spiders that I remember being rather delicate and heavy little models on thin stands. They used to be metal in the old days. It's nice to have an updated plastic version. Our first 5 Immortals are a nice addition to our Necron force. And a new HQ for our Adeptus Mechanicus. Dominus is a rather nice kit. I painted one up a few years ago for a client. And I did really enjoy painting it. And like I suggested earlier, sub-assemblies are really important for this guy. So glue parts 5 and 6 together, leave that separate, leave part 10 separate, and the rest you can pretty much glue together. All in all, another fantastic delivery from the Imperium. The art prints are first class, and I can't wait to get them up on my gaming room wall. I will hopefully soon be revealing my gaming room to my subscribers, and I will probably be doing a lot of battle reports and stuff from there in the future. For the moment though, I'd like to thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, share and subscribe. If you'd like to help support the channel, there is links to all my social medias, my website, my affiliate link and my Buy Me a Coffee page, as well as all my other links. Thank you very much. And oh yeah, I was going to mention, going forward, I'm going to be publishing a filming schedule on my Facebook page and on my Buy Me a Coffee page. So if you follow me on those, you will get to know what videos are coming first before pretty much anyone else. So, and okay, there's a couple of big store anniversaries coming up, so I will be getting some nice stuff coming soon to do some unboxings and reviews. So I'd like to thank you again for watching. If you stuck all the way to the end, 2 big thumbs up to you. So I will see you next time for more mad content. Goodbye.